Hi guys, it's Steffi from the Novelty Corner. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with my January book haul. I am posting this a little bit earlier than I normally would. I would normally post it in the very last week of January or in the first week of Feb, but I have no intention of actually picking up any more books, and the only other book that I know that is coming is the book that is in my January Fairy Loot box, so you know, you guys will see that in an unboxing anyway. I do have 16 books in this haul, and I have only read one of these books previously because I've been doing Tome Infinity, and I just picked up a lot of these books to have them because I really wanted them, as is the case with me. And I know that people have a problem with book hauls. I don't have a problem with book hauls because it's my money and I'm allowed to spend my money on things that I would like and to support authors in that way. And that's my rant. And that is all I'm going to say on the issue. If you don't like book hauls, feel free not to watch the video. But if you do, I hope that you enjoy this video and that you get some ideas of books that are out there that you can pick up. First up, I'm going to start with my review copies that I received. I received 3 this month. Actually, technically I received 4, but one of them is now at school. So the book that I received that's not here is In Blossom by Yuju Chen, which I shared earlier in the month. It is a gorgeous story about friendship and finding time to actually appreciate the company of others. That was from Allen & Unwin. Also from Allen & Unwin, I received The Orca, Distorter by Karen Biggers, which I think might be a contemporary fiction or a literary fiction book, which is normally outside my wheelhouse, so I'm excited to try this and see what it's like. I obviously know nothing about it, so I'm not going to speculate on that because I don't really like reading the blurbs. I just like to go into things as fresh as possible. And then I also have Lawson's Bend by Nicole Hurley Moore. Nicole Hurley Moore writes country romance books, which I really enjoy, so I did request this one. And again, I don't want to go into it knowing too much because I just like to enjoy these books. These are great summer reads. I also received Thomas Wildest and the Book of Sorrows by J.M. Bergen, which is a middle grade fantasy series. And again, I don't know too much about it, but I was approached and asked if I would like to review a copy of this, and I said absolutely yes, because I'm trying to read more middle grade this year so that I can have some recommendations to share with my readers in the classroom. So reviews for all of those will appear in the next couple of weeks. I purchased 2 middle grade books this month. The first one is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. I've heard really good things about this one. It is a fantasy series, and I believe it's about a world where every year a baby is left as a sacrifice to a witch who lives in the forest, and the witch actually doesn't do anything mean to the children. She actually finds them new homes and takes care of them, but there is one girl who she accidentally feeds moonlight to, and then she has to care for the girl and raise her as her own, and it's all about magic and loveliness, and I can't wait to read this. It has really good reviews from people I've seen. I also picked up a copy of The Librarian of Auschwitz by Antonio Iturbe, and I have heard nothing but good things about this. I do like historical fiction set around World War II, and I've seen quite a few booktubers talk about this book. So I haven't spent a lot of time listening too much about the plot of the story, just that people have really enjoyed the story, and I'm looking forward to picking this one up, hopefully in February or March. Next up, I have Threeway, which is, you know, a much smaller YA pile than I would normally have. The first book is The Disasters by M.K. Englund. This came in my YA Chronicles box for December, and this is all about a group of pilots a pilot who gets kicked out of a space station academy, and the main character and a few of the other washouts are on their way back to Earth when a terrorist event occurs, and even though they're probably not the people that you want to save them, they're the ones that are available. So this sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, young adult science fiction. I'm very optimistic. I'm looking forward to reading it. I also picked up a copy of This Cruel Design by Emily Savada. This is a Love Oz YA science fiction book. It is the sequel to This Mortal Coil, and my copy is a little bit water damaged, but you know what, in the end, I don't really care. I don't have the patience to deal with sending things back, but I'm looking forward to reading this. This Mortal Coil was a really interesting read for me. I think I read it last year, and it's all about genetics gone wrong and zombie-like viruses, and I can't wait to see what happens next. I also picked up The Gilded Walls by Roshani Chokshi, which is the YA Rooms book for January. I haven't read it yet, obviously. I need to read it before the first week of Feb, and I don't know anything about this book. I'm assuming that it's some kind of fantasy-esque story. It does have a really gorgeous cover though, so I will be talking about this fairly soon. The rest of the books that I picked up are all adult books. I have a copy of In an Absent Dream by Seanan McGuire. I haven't read it yet. It is the 4th book in the Wayward Children series, and I know I thought that I would just pick this up as soon as I did it, but I'm trying to finish my readathon, so I haven't read it yet. And this one I think follows the story of Lundy, but that's all I know about it, so I will be reading this one very quickly in February. I have This Mortal Word by Genevieve Cogman. This is book 5 in the Invisible Library series, and I'm really disappointed with this one because it doesn't have the shiny metallic cover as like the other 4, but that's okay because it is a gorgeous mint green colour and it still has the lovely silhouettes on it. And this is a series all about a librarian who can travel between various versions of Earth in different time periods. It has fae, it has dragons, it has wars and peace talks and all sorts of things. It is a really, really wonderful series. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It can be quite funny at times. Irene is an awesome main character and Kai is just, I love him. It took me a while to warm to him, but now I love him. I cannot wait to read this. Although I should be clear, I can't wait to read any of these books. That's why I bought them. I also bought A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe by Alex White, and the only reason I bought this was because I heard someone compare it to Firefly. So it is an adult science fiction book. It has a comparison to Firefly. I don't need to know more than that. I will read it. I picked up Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel because I've heard so many people rave about this book and I've been meaning to read it for ages. I also know that my cousin is reading this for Year 12 this year, which I thought was really interesting. And even though it appears to be sort of an end of the world thing, it's shelved in the fiction section at my bookstore. So I'm confused about what it's going to be, but I'm actually very eager to read it for myself and just make a judgment that way. I picked up a copy of Caressed by Ice by Nalini Singh. This is book 3 in the Psy Changeling series, and it is the story that follows Judd Lauren. I read this last year and I loved it. It's one of my favorite books in the series, so I wanted a physical copy of it, so now I have it. I also picked up Dark Lover by J.R. Ward, which is a paranormal romance series with vampires. I haven't really read vampire books for a while, but I am participating in the Romanceopoly readathon and this fits one of the challenges, and I've been meaning to try a J.R. Ward book for a while, so now I have a physical copy of it. And the last 2 books that I picked up were books 6 and 7 in the Expanse series, because if you have watched my Books Beside My Bed video where I talk about Scholar Burn and Nemesis Games, I am trash for this series and I'm completely obsessed. Book 6 is Babylon's Ashes by James S. A. Corey, which is actually the next book that I need to read. And book 7 is Perseus Rising, and if I could inhale them now, I would, because I love all of the characters in this series. But I will say I am super excited because I know in Babylon's Ashes we are going to see more of Bobby Draper and Clarissa Mao, and I cannot wait. So those are all the books that I acquired in January. I'm not going to pick them up because they're just going to fall everywhere. In the comments, let me know if you have read any of these books and what your thoughts are on them. I would love to hear them. Or if you have any recommendations for books that I should start with as soon as I finish my Tome Infinity readathon, let me know that too. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.